In our national lead today, while many pro-Palestinian protests or anti-Israel protests have been peaceful across several U.S. colleges, others, without question, have become hateful and threatening. Over the weekend at Yale University, a Jewish student journalist documenting a campus rally says a protester assaulted her, jabbing a Palestinian flag near her eye. A human chain then formed around her after she said she tried to confront the person. At Columbia University in New York over the weekend, an Orthodox rabbi affiliated with the school urged Jewish students to leave campus for their own safety. Others at the school said that was not necessary. The Jewish Student Center, nonetheless, has NYPD protection and public safety escorts for anyone celebrating Passover. Tensions are so high, classes at the Ivy League school went virtual today. The peaceful protesters have been overshadowed by anti-Semitic ones. We hear in videos one protester shouting out, "Go back to Europe," and much worse, praise of Hamas, praise of the October 7th Hamas attack. New York City Mayor Eric Adams says some protesters used hate speech that praised Hamas with chants of, quote, "We don't want Zionists here." Obscene anti-Israel chants filled with profanities such as this could be heard. Now, one of those condemning the anti-Semitic rhetoric at Columbia University is New York City Mayor Eric Adams, and Mayor Adams joins us now. Mayor Adams, thanks for joining us. So on Sunday, you released a statement, part of which reads, quote, "I have instructed the NYPD to investigate any violation of law that is reported. Rest assured, the NYPD will not hesitate to arrest anyone who is found to be breaking the law." But you also said Columbia University is a private institution on private property, which means the NYPD cannot have a presence on campus unless specifically requested by senior university officials. Do you think Columbia is doing enough to protect its students, especially its Jewish students? And do you worry that sending in NYPD might actually inflame matters?
Well, first I want to say that I know what protest is about. I participated in protests throughout my life, particularly during the South African calling for the dismantling of apartheid. That is one of the fundamental rights we hold dear as Americans, the right to protest. What we are seeing playing out on many of our college campuses, and particularly in Columbia University, is hate. We're seeing vile language being used, and at no time should we call for the destruction of anyone, should we call for violence towards anyone. That is not what protesting is about. Now we have to go within the law. In this country and in this city, comments like that on the surface are not illegal. But if you use it to harass someone or menace someone, we're going to take appropriate action to stop that from taking place. And we will go on private property for imminent threat. Even though it's a private property, if there's imminent threat or danger to someone, the NYPD will go on that private property.
So obviously, as you note, protest is an important part of being an American. Free speech is an important part of being an American. Where is the line? For example, I've seen video of somebody at the Gaza encampment at Columbia standing up and talking about how great October 7th Hamas attacks on Israel was, and calling the Hamas terrorists, calling them freedom fighters. Is that hate speech, or is that protected free speech? Where do you come down on that?
And that is, believe it or not, as vile as it could be, because Hamas should be destroyed from the actions they did on October 7th and other actions. But that does not fall into a crime. If someone makes a comment that they want to join a terrorist organization, that's going to come under investigation. But the Commissioner of Legal Matters at the New York City Police Department is going to really break this down for New Yorkers so they will understand fully when someone crosses the line and commit a crime. That is what he's here for, and that is his role and obligation. And when someone crosses that line, we're going to take necessary action.
You are also urging Columbia officials, university officials, to improve and maintain an open line of communication with the NYPD. In your opinion, what areas does Columbia need to improve so that people can have free speech rights, but also Jewish students can live their lives without being harassed and attacked and told that Hamas is coming to get them, or told that they should go back to Poland?
And it's clearly, I can feel the duality of this moment. As I stated, I understand the pain that is playing out in Israel and in Gaza at this time. I understand what Palestinian New Yorkers are going through in a peaceful way to display that, and I understand what these Israeli experienced on October 7th. And so the duality of that moment is important, but also look back to Little Rock, Arkansas, and what it meant for African Americans to be escorted on campuses because they were afraid for their lives. And that is what I see when I see Jewish students going through this at this moment. There is no place for hate in this city. I don't care if it's anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, anti-Sikhism. We don't have a place for that. And I don't want to be, and I won't be the mayor where you have to take off your hijab, your yarmulke, or your turban when you enter a place of higher education or use our transportation system or walk our streets.
So I just want to make sure that I understand something, because I'm really genuinely confused. So we've seen video protesters saying Al-Qassam, which is the armed part of Hamas, the militant arm of Hamas. Al-Qassam, you make us proud. Kill another soldier now. These are people chanting this in the streets outside Columbia University, but right next to Columbia. We say justice, you say how. Burn Tel Aviv to the ground. Hamas, we love you. We support your rockets too. Red, black, green, and white, we support Hamas's fight. It is right to rebel. Al-Qassam, again, that's Hamas, give them hell. It's right to rebel. Hamas, give them hell. That is protected speech in New York. But my question is, well, tell me, what's your take on that? Because that's one of the things that students are hearing.
I think is vile. I think it's disgusting. I think it is something that someone should not be communicating. But my thoughts and opinion does not determine law. It is up to the Deputy Commissioner of Legal Matter, and it's up to the police department to see if a person is using those terminologies to follow someone, to threaten someone, to harass someone, then you cross the line. And that is what we are doing at this time. And I think the police department, after actually policing over 500 protests in the city. You're not seeing what's playing out across the globe with the destruction of property. You're not seeing mass assaulters of individuals. This police department is the best at handling situations like this, and that's what we're going to have to do and continue to do.
New York Mayor Eric Adams, thanks so much for your time today, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.